Hello and welcome to Prism Prints, a channel dedicated to VR sculpting, 3D printing, and miniature painting. I'm Ben, and for this project, I'm making my take on a Xiphopod from the game Star Citizen. With talk of more creatures being added to the game, and the ability to now play the game in VR, Star Citizen has really been on my mind lately. Back in 2024, I made a few videos on the Yao Yao, Shun, and Tokyai from a Xi'an creature naming contest that took place back in 2017. I'll link a playlist of those sculpts at the end of this video if you'd like to check them out. Since then, I thought it would be a cool idea to go through the animals on the Star Citizen Galactopedia and make some fan art. I'll link the Animal Galactopedia in the description so you can check out the creatures both in-game and yet to come, and maybe let me know which ones you would like to see a sculpt of next. For this sculpt, I chose the Xiphopod, also known as the blind Oni Crab. Originally found in the Lear system on Lear 1, this species thrives in hot grassland environments. The Xiphopod is also quite resilient in extreme conditions, not a picky eater, and can lay up to 1,000 eggs at a time, which hatch in about 2 weeks. Because of all this, it's considered an invasive species. Unfortunately, while not yet in game, they have found a home on Hurston in the Stanton system. Since the climate easily suits their needs, there's a lack of natural predators, and the settlements on Hurston produce biological waste, which acts as their food. The Xiphopod has become a real problem. Even the local government encourages Xiphopod hunting. Apparently, this creature will also be a source of food. While not at all desirable, you'll be able to roast and eat the meat, which is said to taste, quote, musty and sweet. While being a nuisance in most areas of life, xenobiologists have found value in studying these creatures. The Xiphopod was named due to its similarities to the order Xiphosaura, an order of arthropods related to arachnids, also known as horseshoe crabs. It has the ability to float by converting the air around it to a mix of hydrogen and helium inside a blimp-like cavity. Releasing the gas in one direction allows for propulsion. I'm really excited to see what kind of gameplay the Xiphopod will add to Star Citizen. Just having a few animals in game has already added a lot of interest for me, so I'm always down for more. For this sculpt, I only had 2 reference images to go off of, so I took a few artistic liberties with the design. Since there are a lot of little legs and spindly parts, I modeled each piece separate to keep things organized in my mind, as well as have the option to edit the pose of the creature. Once I got the Xiphopod looking how I wanted, I started to work on a rocky base for the creature to be floating around. The idea is to have two of them hovering around a nest of their eggs at the base of the rock. After sculpting rocks for a bit, I added my Prism Prints base, which is available to download for free at any of the links in the pinned comment below. Then I posed the two Xiphopods and added the eggs. I wanted to print the sculpt a little larger since there are so many small parts on the Xiphopods. In order to save on resin, I decided to hollow out the base and rock using my slicer program. After 3 rounds of printing, everything was ready to paint. Referencing the image on the Galactopedia, the Xiphopod seems to have a muted mauve color for the carapace and certain appendages. The crab-like legs seem to be tan, and the blimp-like cavity seems to have a reddish hue. I decided to stick with these colors and just turn up the saturation for a more colorful display. Hurston seems to have a lot of sandstone, so I wanted to paint the rock structure with that in mind. Also, since the horseshoe crab inspired the name of this creature, I thought it would be fitting to make a nest of their eggs look similar to a horseshoe crab's nest. From the images I found, they seem to be a gray color with a blue-green tint. In keeping with the theme, I chose to increase the saturation to a bright turquoise. Finally, I add some static grass and sand for some last-minute touches. I feel like this helps to really tie the scene together. really excited to start seeing more creatures in the verse, and I hope you like my take on the Xiphopod. This sculpt was a lot of fun to tackle, and I look forward to putting my spin on more creatures from Star Citizen. Again, if there are any that you would like to see, just let me know in the comments. If you're into 3D printing and would like some models to print, I post STL downloads at all the sites listed in the pinned comment. Also, if you're interested in trying Shapelab out for yourself, my promo code will save you a total of 35% off. Use SL Prism when purchasing from their website, or SL Prism-A0B9F3 when purchasing on the Meta Store. All this information is in the description. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you enjoy content like this, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one.